Hello, this is Sofia Jewel, and it's December 19th. We're about 2 days to get to winter solstice here on the North Hemisphere, and we're moving towards the darkest day, and the Southern Hemisphere towards the longest day. And so this year, we have been going through a major falling of all structures and giving us that opportunity to really come back to ourselves. And it has given us the opportunity to see in a new way and be in a new way with ourselves, with each other, and the planet. In order to do that, we really have um, life has given us the time to reflect and contemplate and see. And so it has given us also a new perspective about who we are, about humanity and life itself. Take new action and inspire action and start asking for what we truly want. How do um, those new structures, what they're going to look like as we continue moving through the end of the year. There's still some alignments in our galaxy that will continue to bring different aspects to our psyche and to our awareness. I feel like this year has been deeply healing for our mind, for the way we think, our conditioning, and our perspective about life and ourselves and what's our role. So I wanted to share a story that will really depict this whole idea of our thoughts and so on. And okay, so at the beginning of the year, on March, I was in Argentina. And when I arrived to Argentina, my everything, the journey just took 2 days when it usually takes one day. I missed my plane in, I believe I was in Colorado, in Denver. And then magically everything, got arranged where I ended up sleeping in a hotel and everything was taken care of. And as soon as I landed the following day in Argentina, one of my luggages never arrived. My first bag was the first one to come, and then I ended up waiting and waiting and waiting, and my luggage didn't arrive. And so I did all the process of, filling it up, describing it, and so on. And I went I was staying at my mother's house. That's where I'm from. Well, that's where I was born. And throughout all this, I would get the message that's like, well, welcome to Argentina. Things are like this in Argentina. They don't really work. And don't expect your luggage to come the day that they told you, because probably it's going to come late and so on. And in midst of all that, I was like, I'm not worried at all. My luggage is going to come or not. I know my luggage is going to come. And I knew it was the heaviest luggage. So I was like, this is amazing. The luggage is going to arrive to the door of where I am. I don't have to carry the luggage. It's just perfect. And so that was that. And they told me they arrived this day at 3 p.m. And I started to connect with the energy of all the people that were finding my luggage, the people that were moving my luggage from one place to the other one, and thanking them, and all the way to the person that was driving my luggage to the door of my home. And I did that exercise, and literally the day that my luggage was supposed to come, it arrived, and it arrived at 3 p.m. 01. And I go out and receive the person that got my luggage, and I say thank you, and he sees I have a tattoo here of a chickadee, and the whole story of chickadee to me is about strength, about heart and truth, and staying truth to my heart. And the guy looks at my tattoo and he's like, "Oh my goodness, like you have a tattoo. Do you want? I have one too. Do you want to see it?" And I'm like, "Okay." He takes his shirt off and he shows me his tattoo on his back, and it's this face of a lion. And to me, the lion represents exactly that, just fierce heart and fierce love, and following your divine plan and your divine vision, following your heart and holding that vision for yourself and the world around you. And it was such an affirmation. The whole experience was such an affirmation that no matter where you are, you can connect to the energy. The energy is what matters. And connecting with this light grid of like everything's moving in divine order and everything's moving in divine planning, in divine plan, and everything's okay. And as I connect with that energy and bring gratitude and that exchange of love and reciprocity is there, then all is well, no matter where you are. So right now, I was facing this conditioning, this paradigm in this light grid that is said, when you arrive to Argentina, this is how the structure works of experience. And I decided to not say yes and agree to that condition. I decided to agree to the condition of my heart. To say that everything was in order, everything was gonna work out, and I was so uh, much in gratitude and love and appreciation for everything that for everyone that was helping me out to make this happen. And that's what it was. And so I believe we're in this process of this um, clearing and healing of our mind, that we got stuck into a place of like, we agreed to this structure and way of thinking, that this is how things are, and then nothing, there's no room for change, there's no room for anything else really when we agree to this way of structure of being. And so when that structure crumbled, then there's infinite possibilities. And then now is the time to really reflect on, what am I thinking, what I'm believing, how am I believing and responding and or reacting in accord to what I believe is possible, what I am expecting is gonna happen. And what happens when I open the view and the perspective of life and really tune into what is possible, and really tune into the human potential, and really tune into the love of life and the universe, and that connection that we are all deeply interconnected with one another, and that all we want, in truth, we all want to be our own expression of our own self, and that life is giving and abundant. The universe is abundant, and that is the truth. And being and living from our own personal truth and our own experience of ourself and love, in love. And so, through all that, there were a series of questions that came forth today. And the first one is, how do you want to feel? So, let's say, in specifically, my experience was like, I just want to feel that everything's in order and everything's in order, and I want to feel gratitude and love. So once you have that energy, um, the second question is, in which ways do I doubt this truth? And or in which ways do I doubt this way to see life and the world. Or you can personalize it in which ways do I doubt myself? So then you go to the third question. What do I think I need to let go of that is preventing the moving towards this energy or this way of being? So there's sometimes we don't move forward into that expansion because we're afraid we're going to lose something that is important to us, or that we're going to lose something that it has created a sense of stability within ourselves. And sometimes it's simply recognizing that um, really the not moving forward is not living our highest truth and not allowing that freedom to be ourselves, and that we believe in our heart that it's the truth. And so sometimes a way to question that is like, how would my life be if I don't do this? If I don't take this action? What would be the impact? What would be the value of me taking this action or shifting this way of thinking? And so you kind of, those questions help you move out and give you, also provide you more information about how you're feeling. And then the fourth question is, what aligned action can I take today towards that energy? And the meaning of this action is fully embracing who I am and what I need. And so sometimes this moving towards what this truth or what I really desired, what it keeps us stuck is that we feel like once we take that desire, that action that is in alignment with our heart, all our needs won't be met. And this is part of the human condition, how we've been living. We've been conditioned to be working in a place of 9 to 5 in something that is not fulfilling to us. So now we have acquired the belief that when you follow your heart, there's a possibility that things not gonna work because you have to come out of the clouds, come out of this fantasy, and get real. And the reality is that sometimes this is just the way we get stuck. That is like following our heart. There's a narrative that if you follow your heart, um, in a way you're gonna lose stability, you're gonna lose security, and so on. And if you think when you were a child, you were basically programmed that you do what your parents said, so a figure of authority. And then if you did something good in their eyes, you got rewarded. And when you did something bad in their eyes, you got punished. So we basically were conditioned to be rewarded by an outside force that was telling us what was right or wrong, and we got punished by an outside force tell us what is right or wrong. And this connection, we brought it back into the world and the universe. If you think about religion as well, specifically in Christianity, there's a God out there that when you sin, you go to hell, so punishment, the same conditioning. When you do something good in his eyes, then you go to heaven. And this is going beyond. And so we have learned this condition that imagine that kid that most of the time when it was doing something that it was following his heart and being true to himself, it was shut down. And so this is also part of the realization that is simply a part of our conditioning, and that reconnecting and reconnection with life itself, trusting life, trusting yourself. And obviously, it's all about responsibility. What are our true needs, and what are truly who I am, and what do I want to contribute in this life, and what experiences are going to truly nurture my soul and nourish my passions and ignite my passions. And I believe we're moving in a time where we're moving through feeling through life instead of thinking through life. And so I really hope that this video kind of give you some framework, and the questions will support you in your own process. I will post the questions beneath so you can use them for your own system at your own time. Sending you lots and lots of love. Bye bye.